It's about that time of day again. My name is Joseph. It's Thursday evening, August 17th. Welcome back to your nightly newsletter. We're covering crude oil, S&P, Nasdaq, gold, and euro tonight. Crude is bearish with a flag pattern telling us to look for selling opportunities using failures up at the highs while avoiding traps at the lows and keeping an eye out for a possible reversal if the buyers can show us some proof tomorrow. The S&P is bearish with two legs down from today's channel, and when combined with a quadruple down support, our plan is pretty simple. We're going to sell the bounce up in that battle zone resistance level tomorrow. The Nasdaq is bearish with a spike in wedge, and one big clue on tonight's chart tells us to stay patient and wait for a two-legged correction and a retest of the low on Friday. And of course, the gold is range bound with a bull bias, telling us to focus on failures below the range or watch out for that tricky fake out breakout pullback pattern to new highs tomorrow. And of course, the euro is bullish with a channel that recently turned sideways into a range, which tells us to look for traps and failures for buying opportunities below the range on Friday. I have a great newsletter in store for you guys and gals tonight. We get a summertime Friday. We got some big news, or lack of big news, I should say. And of course, I got a great plan to kick some butt with you guys tomorrow in our trade room, opening up at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Before I jump in, though, and check the calendar and put the plan together for tomorrow, I want to remind you the only place to watch the full-length version of this video is here on our blog at sidewaysmarkets.com. If you're watching the video right now on our YouTube channel, not to worry. There's a link in the description of that YouTube video. Follow that link and come join me here on the blog at Sideways Markets for the full-length version. While you're here, don't forget, join the mailing list. I'll send you an email every evening when the nightly newsletter goes live. Lower left-hand corner, follow me on social, StockTwits, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever your flavor of choice. I'm always posting important charts, links, and updates throughout the week. And please don't forget to grab those charts. How easy is that? All the charts from tonight's video, have them ready on your computer for tomorrow, right where it says click here to download today's charts in the lower left-hand corner. And upper right-hand corner, grab that free pass. What are you waiting for? You're going to learn more with me in 90 minutes on that free pass than anywhere else on the interweb, so I can pretty much guarantee you that. Grab that free pass in the upper right-hand corner and come join me as a guest in the trade room. And I know, most websites are all automated robots these days. I'm kind of old school. I believe in giving a high level of service and support to my clients. If you got any questions for me, hit me up on live support. I will look forward to speaking with you and answering all your questions right side of the website and right side of the blog here at Sideways Markets. Let's dig in. We've had an incredible third week of the month of August. That's right, third Friday of the month. Now, of course, talking about a summer Friday. Anytime we have a Friday session, if you guys watch my newsletter, you know by now, right? Fridays are always early in, early out. What I mean by that is, if you're in London, you get a full day ahead tomorrow. If you're in the U.S. session like I am, opening up tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern time in our trade room, we have a smaller window of opportunity. Anything after 11 o'clock Eastern time on Fridays are always going to be considered lower reliability. So your job tomorrow is to get in early, grab those trades, get that money, and get out of there and enjoy your weekend. At the end of the week and at the end of the day, we start seeing traders take bigger risks. So rather than battle with all the gamblers tomorrow afternoon, I always recommend get that money to the market early and hit the weekend. Now, tomorrow is not your average Friday. Tomorrow, of course, is a summertime Friday, but look closer, it's also the third Friday of the month. And of course, there is a definite self-fulfilling prophecy to that. You know, here in Los Angeles, the kids are going back to school end of next week. So we expect a lot of parents to be distracted with their family right this week on vacation. And so we're definitely expecting this to be one of the last kind of long weekends almost right ahead of the fall season coming up. So I'm expecting tomorrow a little bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy here. It's probably going to be a little bit of a light day tomorrow. So get to it early, get out of there early, and enjoy one of the last summertime weekends we have for the summer season 2017. Now, outside of that, don't forget, we also want to pay attention to those prior week levels, right? We're looking at prior week open, prior week high, prior week low, and prior week close, right? The old OHLC, right? Prior week open, high, low, close levels. At the end of the week, we start watching prior week levels. At the end of the month, we start watching prior month levels. So as we go through the charts tonight, you're going to see me talk a lot about those prior week levels. And what happens is, you're going to see, for example, in a moment here too, We have a lot of markets right now that are within striking distance of their prior week highs or prior week lows, so we'll be watching for those to act as price magnets tomorrow. Last but not least, what news do we have tomorrow morning? Not a whole lot. We get the PPI from Germany at 2 o'clock. I'm not expecting much out of that. We get the CPI from our good friends to the north at 8:30. I'm not expecting much out of that. And consumer sentiment, blah, 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 blah. Not a lot on the schedule tomorrow. That lack of major news combined with the fact summertime Friday, third Friday of the month, and again, last few weekends, right, of the summertime season. Again, get to it early and get out and enjoy your weekend tomorrow. Don't forget, we'll be in our trade room tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock Eastern time. You don't need to go at this alone. Come out and join me as a brand new advanced member. Let's jump right in. We got a lot to cover here tonight. We got Crude, S&P, maybe some Nasdaq. How about some gold? And we'll round it all off tonight with the euro. Starting off tonight with crude oil. Crude is bearish, the flag pattern, while trying to retest today's low. Now, flag patterns are tricky, right? Because this market hasn't reversed on strength yet, but the rising support trend line is likely keeping a lot of bears from selling into buyer failures. The key tomorrow is selling the high of this bull channel, or flag pattern as we call it, or waiting for a breakdown below 46.80 and using a trap high to finish the job from there. Now, on the flip side, I couldn't finish this up tonight without talking about the bulls, right? The bulls can definitely take opportunity here to take control, and all they need is a strong push higher, and they can grab control for a run back into yesterday's trading range. So first of all, I kind of want to set the stage here right now by talking about where we came from yesterday, right? So of course, and this is going to play into later on today. We started off the day yesterday inside of a trading range. And of course, that trading range, right, we ran lower here, and we've been waiting for the price to go up and retest that low. That trading range is going to act like a magnet if these sellers can't finish the job back down to the low. So just kind of laying the whole foundation here, the sellers have to get back down and retest that low tomorrow, and they're probably going to give it a good 2 tries, right? 1 try, 2 try. If they can't get that second try to make it, it will likely see some probably pretty aggressive profit taking, and this market has potential later in the morning tomorrow, or depending on what happens overnight, right, possibly early tomorrow morning, all the way back up into that range, right? So sellers right now, the bears want to get back down to retest that low. The bulls want to get back up and retest that high. Now you can see on this chart, we don't have any prior week levels to work with. This is one of the only markets here tonight in the newsletter that doesn't have a prior week level within striking distance. So be aware of that. We'll keep plugging away here tonight in the newsletter, and you'll see a bunch more of those. But the most important thing right now is, and I get this question quite a bit, how do you know whether it's a trend reversal or if it's a flag, right? So let's talk about that for a second. Bears are going lower, right? Bears are going lower. Bear market, bear market, bear market. So strong move down for the bears. A flag looks like this. It's almost sideways. It's making higher highs. It's making higher lows. It's grinding around the moving average, right? But what we're not getting is we're not getting a runner. We're not getting a runaway. This is a flag, right? It's a bull channel after a strong move down. What makes flags so difficult is this rising support trend line. It's not bullish yet. It's still a bear market. But now the sellers, they don't want to sell into that rising support trend line. So the best option for a flag is to go up and sell back down. Now that move higher scares the bejesus right out of a lot of sellers because they go, oh crap, we're reversing. Right? But in all reality, in most situations, it's just the sellers trying to free up some space to try to sell so they don't have to sell into that rising support trend line. Capiche? So really, again, this is a challenging pattern for every type of trader. Now, the other option on this is we have to look left, and look left at this prior swing right there. Right? This prior swing on the chart tonight is at 46.80. Right? So watch that 46.80. Now, the buyers are going to be looking to buy that trap, right? The buyers are looking to buy that trap low. If I was a buyer, I'd be buying that 46.79, 78, 77, right? Trying to buy low. So what I'm looking for tomorrow for the bears is get below that level, Let's see them fail, and once we see those buyers start to fail, that'll be your second option, right, to now sell back down. That second option, though, takes some patience because you're going to want to see them try and then roll over back down to retest the low. So that's the challenge on a flag pattern. Now, one more thing. How do we know when a market reverses? Again, we know what a flag looks like, right? It kind of goes sideways almost. Again, you're getting higher highs, you're getting higher lows. What does a flag look? How does a flag turn into, right, a reversal? Strength, right? You're going to see the market. See, here's the deal. What makes a flag is this strong move down. Now, what's going to happen if these bears realize they're wrong? What happens if the bears, right? What happens to the bears if they try once, they try twice, right, and they can't get back down to retest that low? What's going to happen? They're probably going to see this as being a failure. And what happens when sellers fail? They start becoming buyers, right? They start buying their way out of their short positions. So, for example, when we see this market go up, if the buyers then take off to the upside, guess what? That punch, I call the disconnect. It feels like somebody pulled the rug out from underneath the bears. All the bears go, oh, shoot, we're wrong. Get out of here, right? And they become buyers, and the price runs. So when I go back to my chart now, you'll notice we haven't seen. Every time the market goes up, it gets sold back down. Goes up, gets sold back down. Goes up, it solds back, right? Every time, that's a flag, right? It's not a, look right here. Look right there. That's that strength. This is a range-bound market, right? Goes lower. And then look, bam, right? That big drop down. That big drop down yesterday afternoon, that was the buyers going, get me the hell out of here, right? Those were buyers covering, or not covering, right, but getting out, becoming sellers. Only way you have a buy position is to become a seller, right? So that's that disconnect. That's that slam, right? That's that personality trait that tells you when a market is reversing. So as of right now, we get a bear market. The bears are trying to get back down to that low. They're doing a heck of a job trying, right? They've given it now 3 attempts now to get back down to that low. And again, we have that rising support trend line here. So what are our options? Our options are, 1, get up, sell back down. Or get down, again, watch here though, because watching at 46.80, right? If I was a buyer, this is where I'm looking to buy. Right? As a buyer, that is a gorgeous spot to be a buyer if it was a bull market. It's not a bull market yet. So it's not a reliable place to be buying right now. You can play with it, right? You can take a nibble there if you want to, but just remember, trading is all about a game of probabilities, right? It's pattern recognition and it's the law of large numbers, the coin toss theory. Okay, if you try buying in a bear market every time, your odds will be very low. So you better have a really small stop and a really big target. You have to make up for that 35-40% winning ratio that comes along with counter trend trading. So the bottom line is, for the sellers, I want to see these buyers fail and then roll over from there. Right? So selling on the rollover, right? Or again, selling that failure up off that high. That's going to be tough. Again, it's not easy. You got to stay patient for it, and it's going to be really uncomfortable up here. It's going to feel uncomfortable up there, right? Because of that price going higher. Now, how about the buy side right now? What do the buyers look like? Well, one option for the buyers would definitely be trap low, hold the pullback, and explode. If we start seeing that explosion higher here, that's going to be your cue that these bears are done. Second option here, obviously, would be price goes up. Price goes up, they hold the pullback, they explode higher from there, right? And that could happen in the short term. It really could. We're going to Friday morning, summertime Friday, low volume. We may see traders just take their money and run ahead of that Friday session. I also want to remind you, too, we have rollover for tomorrow as well. I talked about this last night. And so, with rollover, funny things happen on rollover. People do stupid things. Rollover's not a big deal. It's just the volume's transitioning from the 917 to the 1017. But people do some crazy things. There's a lot of complicated strategies that use rollover. Not that I would recommend, but we do sometimes see some wacky price action around rollover. So keep your eyes open tomorrow. So sellers have control until we see the what? Strength, right? That pop higher. I need to see some strength going higher before we start thinking this is a bull market. The bulls trying to get back up to retest that high. Bears trying to get back down to retest that low. The hard part's going to be if it just rolls over. If it rolls over, do not sell that low. Your job, whenever we have no choice but to sell low, The job now is traps, right? Sell with traps. And again, if you watch my newsletter, you've heard me talk about this many, many times before. If this is your first time with me here tonight, you get a lot of great videos to catch up on over this weekend. So trap high whenever we go back to retest that low. Again, really get me breaking down below that 46.80 level. Let's keep rolling. From the crude oil over here to the S&P. S&P here is extremely bearish. I'm going to go on a limb here right now and say we're just a little bit bearish here on the S&P. S&P is bearish with a channel and 2 legs lower all the way down to the prior week low and overshooting that quadruple down target. We don't see that very often, I'll tell you that much. Today's move was very strong, and most often markets don't move this much without a significant pullback, right? So this will either be a strong bounce off of this low for another shot going back down to that low, or oftentimes markets like this will start trading sideways and form a trading range. Now, personally, I would love to sell the bounce off this low using overhead resistance levels as my guide. I just realized I am way over my time with you guys this afternoon. Don't forget, if you're watching this video right now on our YouTube channel, it's only a small snippet on the YouTube channel. What are you waiting for? There's a link in the description of the YouTube video. Follow that link to the blog at Sideways Markets. Watch the full-length version. And don't forget, there's a link in the description too. Go to the website here at schooloftrade.com and join our free trial. Everything I'm talking about here tonight, I'm going to teach you a lot more and some inside of our free trial, so don't forget about that. And also, we got beginner, intermediate, and advanced levels of membership here at School of Trade. Whether you're brand new to day trading, I know I'm a little bit more advanced in my thinking. I don't think a lot of folks do. So I realize I use a lot of terms here in our newsletter you might not be familiar with. Our beginner class is exactly what you need. It'll go over all our terms, over setting up your computer, your charts, all the indicators. Everything is covered, beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And again, don't forget, I'm always here. Hit me up on live support. I'll be here over the weekend. It always rings up the cell phone, and I can answer your call and answer your questions lickety split. Guys and gals, thanks so much for being this week. We had a crazy week this week. What a great week. Third week of the month of August. Summertime Friday tomorrow. If I don't see you guys tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, I will see you back here on Monday night's newsletter. We don't do newsletters on Friday nights. They do let me out of my cage every once in a while here in our corporate headquarters in Los Angeles. I will see you guys same time, same place tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, or next Monday afternoon. Make sure you come back with all your fingers and toes tomorrow. All right, guys. See you guys next time. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye.